Hi. So,
Hello.
hi, Dave. Yeah, thanks for joining me today for the user test.
Hmm.
And I got your consent form already, so thank you for sending that. And just, yeah, we're going to be recording the session today. So, for my notes, so I can go back and it helps with research for our project.
Okay.
And so we're testing the software. We're not testing you, so you can't do anything wrong here. We just want to see how you use and interact with the product.
Okay.
Yeah, so, and feel free to ask questions along the way. And do you have any questions before we start?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, great. So, just some background questions first. What is your occupation?
I am retired now.
Yeah,
I used to be a computer programmer and technical analyst, database and an analyst. So,
cool. And how many hours a day would you say about you spend on the internet?
the internet. I guess it varies. I mean, some days not at all. Some days maybe a couple hours. Uh, so, yeah.
Okay, okay, great. Um, Great. And so yeah, we'll move on to the user test question. So if you can open the links that I provided you to the prototype for the desktop, you can go ahead and open that.
It came up. You want to see that?
Yeah, you can point the camera towards the screen. That'd be great. Thank you.
Okay.
Okay, so as you view this page, and I'll guide you through your next steps and some scenarios now. So, um, your scenario is you live and work in Seattle, and it's lunch break, and you're looking for somewhere to get lunch. So you
Okay.
come across this website, and what's going through your mind as you view this page?
Well, as I view this page, I guess I'm I'm figuring the place is called Dashed Fries, and I see a food truck. Um, so all American fries and dashed toppings. So that's telling me I think what this is. They're baskets. Okay, so I'm looking at I think a food truck that does French fries and toppings, and kind of getting that from the pictures as well. Okay, so I guess maybe I'll assume I've never heard of dashed fries when I came across this on the internet, and so I pulled up this and said, okay, so I'm looking at a French fry truck.
Okay, that's great. So now, for your scenario, where do you think you would go next from here to find something for lunch?
Um, well, let's see. I see that I can order online. There's a menu. I saw down here there's the menu type items: home, about, menu, locations, and contact. So obviously, I'm interested in locations, especially if it's a food truck. Um, I don't know. By looking at this offhand, I'm I'm thinking it's only a food truck. I'm thinking it's not also a brick and mortar business with a food truck, but I don't know that for sure. Probably the first thing I would do when looking for a place to eat, I'm going to want to look at their menu. So I would go to the menu.
Okay, great. Yeah, you can go ahead and click there.
Okay, good. Menu. All right.
Yeah, and then just what's going through your mind as you view this page?
Okay, I'm getting an idea for the type of stuff that they have. Okay, so I got two sizes, three different kinds, or I guess classic sweet mix is maybe like half and half of each, classic or sweet fries. Okay, a lot of different toppings to choose from. Okay, and then drinks. Okay, from the Seattle Kombucha Company. Okay, ginger, jasmine, mango, and rasa. Okay, I see all my prices, my items. Okay, so at that point, I'm probably going to say either I'm interested in going further, or nah, this doesn't sound like where I want what I want for lunch, not the kind of food. But if I'm in the mood for this today, it sounds like, yeah, okay, that would be good. I like classic fries. I also like sweet fries. I'd probably go with the classic sweet mix because that appeals to me. I'll have to think about the toppings, but again, it's a food truck. Seattle's pretty big, so I probably want to know where they are. So I'm probably going to go next to locations. So I'm going to click on that. Okay.
Okay, yeah, you can click on that. Go ahead.
Okay.
Thanks, that's great.
Check our calendar to see where our food truck will be parked, or use the interactive map. Okay. Okay, so dashed fries, University District. Okay, so I've got a map here. I'm assuming that's my location there for that. Okay, I've got another dashed fries in the International District. I've got the map there. Okay, and then I've got a calendar. Okay, so it's a food truck. It's probably in different places at different times. Now, I'm not completely sure what the calendar is telling me. Tell me on the second is SODO. I don't know what SODO is. And here it's ID. I don't know what that is. Oh, wait, well, maybe actually. I don't know about SO, but ID could actually be the International District. I don't know. University District. Maybe that's SODO. Not sure. Not exactly sure. I guess looking at this, I'm thinking, is the food truck only going to be operating 5 days this month? And are those the locations? Possibly. Not sure. Okay, and then I'm back to the bottom of the page. So I'm not totally clear on what the calendar is telling me. So these are two locations. So I don't know, is the truck, are there two trucks? One here and one here? Or are these things, like I said, if this International District is the ID, maybe on those 2 days, it's this map, and the other three, it's this one. I don't know that for sure. Not quite sure if it's one truck or multiples. This says where our food truck will be parked, so I would almost think there's only one, but I don't know that for sure. So that's where I'm getting some information off locations, but not enough at the moment. Like I said, I look at this and I'm almost thinking the food truck is only going to be 5 places this month. So most days it's not there. So hopefully it's one of these days today. Otherwise, I can't go. So, it says interactive map. I'm not sure what's interactive about the map. If I can click on it, maybe zoom in or zoom out if I needed to, if I'm not exactly familiar with the area. I think that's what I'm thinking on this page. It's giving me information. It's not giving me all the information I need.
That's great. Thanks. That's helpful. So, where would you go to find more information from here?
Um, well, since I'm not finding it on here, I've already been to home. I'd probably go to about and see a little more information. I've been to the menu, I've been to locations. I don't need to contact them at this point, but I would go to about and see what kind of information I can find out about this place. And I am. Okay. It's owned by a couple. Okay. Fruit treats, same comforts, American treats. Cynthia Bavarian. Okay. He's been classically trained alongside. So I'm sorry, something new. They work together. Amazing to see what creative they come up with. More than okay. He built the truck himself with reclaimed parts. Check out his custom creation side project on that. So, well, reading that, I'm seeing, since it says he built the truck himself, I'm going to assume at the moment they have one food truck. So, again, it doesn't mention in here that they only are open a couple days a month. So I'm still not sure on that calendar page, on the locations page, I should say, exactly where they are when, although I'm thinking it's probably just one truck. So if I'm still interested in finding more, I probably would just go to this contact screen just to see if it has any more info. If you want to rent our truck for your event, go back to you shortly. Okay. Nice. Name, email, message, send. Okay. So if I had questions for them, I could put that in here and send it to them. They could get back to me. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, so that's probably where I'm at now. I don't know exactly. I guess mainly it kind of keys back for me to that locations page. I have information, don't have all the information. If today is October 3rd, my assumption looking at this is that they're not anywhere. If it's October 2nd, I'm not 100% sure, but I think they might be at this one. So I think what might help clear this is if these are the two locations that they work out of, I think maybe having a date on here or different dates that say, that then I would know they're there, those dates. And maybe that's what this is telling me. But again, I'm not sure what SODO is. If this is SODO, I could see this being ID for International District. But if that's true, then I'm kind of thinking my interpretation would be they only do the 5 truck 5 days a month or 5 days in this month. And I don't know if that's true. I also don't know their hours. What hours, if this is indeed where they'll be on October 2nd and on the 12th and the 16th, what time do they open? Are they there at lunchtime, dinner time, both? So I don't have hours on here. Little confused on exactly what that's telling me. And if I click on these days for more info, I'm not getting any. So that's probably where I am with this page. I just don't know completely what I'm seeing.
Okay. Okay, that's great. Yeah, that's helpful. So, in your scenario, what would you do from here?
Well, again, there's no phone number on their contact page. I can always send them a message and say, are you guys at such and such a location on this date? If they had a phone number, if I was definitely interested, I might call them, but there was no phone number. Other than that, I probably would not do anything because I certainly don't want to run out to their food truck if I'm not sure that's where it is on that day. Or like I said, if today's October 4th, I'm not even sure if they're running their food truck that day or where it would be. So I don't think I would go to them at this point because I'm just not clear on where they are when.
Okay, yeah, that's great. Thank you. That's so helpful. So those are all the questions for the user test
Okay.
portion, and then I have some post user test questions.
Okay.
And you can keep looking at the website too.
Okay.
So, what did you think about using the sites feature to find the truck locations?
Well, I think it was easy to find the location page, here or up in the menu. I like the information on the location page, but I want more. Like I said, I think if I go in to see locations, I want to just be able to look at it and know here's where they are today. Again, if I'm making the right assumption that they work two different locations depending on the day, that's fine. I've got a map to both of them. I've got the address. That's good. But I'm not 100% clear just looking at this which days they're there. And if this is telling me the days, then I might even like something, on here we will be in 5, our food truck will be operating 5 different days this month. Then that would make sense that I've got 5 things here. These would be the dates. And I also would want something to be clearer to me that SODO is this and ID is this. I'm making some assumptions, and I don't want to make an assumption that could cost me a trip there when they're not there. So,
yeah, that makes sense.
Otherwise, I mean, the information on here is good. I just need more. And dates, I think, are a good thing. I would want the dates up here, but if this was easier for me to link to these 2 locations, then this would suffice for dates.
Okay, great. Thank you. What did you think about using the site's menu?
To me, the menu works fine. Cosmetically, I think that the font is a little big in the menu. Now, I'm not sure, I'm doing this on a desktop. I'm not sure what it would be like on the mobile version. But on a desktop, these look big to me. And, like your font down here, All American Fries, dash toppings, Yelp reviews, it's a smaller font. It looks, when I see big, I almost think, what would I say, less polished, less professional looking. It just looks like, oh, okay, we put these items up here, it works, but it doesn't need to be that big. So why is it that big? And I might pull the menu bars down here. We have a lot of open space on the screen. Even in here, a little bit of open space. This is fine down at the bottom. I like having these somewhere on every page. I hate when I go to a web page and they're on a couple of them, and then I go into a page and it's like, well, now there's no button to take me back to home or what. So I like that, or the menu bars. I mean, that to me should be there. This screen isn't too bad. I like the pictures. Pictures of the food are very good, very appetizing to me. Kind of like the way this menu is big. I think this area here that has the order number, the calling to order number, and the order online and menu, that almost looks a little big. It's almost got as much space here as the size of the picture. It's just got a lot of white area in here.
Mm-hmm.
And not to be picky, but I would not put the area code on a separate line. I would have, either something that says, call to order down here, 206-555-555, or all on one line, 206-555-555. I wouldn't break those two up. Otherwise, that it's nice. The menu, when I noticed on the menu, I see a lot of what I would call blank space between everything. Again, the size of the font on this is not bad. It's readable. It doesn't need to be smaller. It just looks like there's a lot of things spread out. I think it could be tighter. It's just a lot of white. And a background color. It's kind of almost a grayish white, very, very pale gray. But some kind of background color might look nice rather than all that white. I don't know.
How does all the white and space make you feel?
It almost makes me feel like we didn't have a lot to put, so we put it on there and spread it all out. And I don't think, if they've got a limited menu, you don't want it to look like it's a limited menu. I mean, we don't have a lot to offer. We have 3 kinds of fries, about 8 kinds of toppings, and 3 drinks. But with such a big screen, to me, it almost looks like, well, we don't have a lot to put on here, so let's make it big anyway. Well, don't make it big. This was our fries, these are our toppings, these were our drinks. Even if it just fits on one screen, that it doesn't have to page. To me, it has too much white in here. The other alternative to that could be more pictures of the food. Now, in this case, I don't know, because I like the pictures. I think the picture of the fries is good. The toppings, it doesn't show a lot. I mean, you've got cashews, you got some kind of cheese. You could have maybe some other pictures with other toppings. And for the drinks, although I like this picture, I think this picture looks really good. I wouldn't want it with the drinks. I would want a picture that shows my drinks, or one of the drinks, something I could kind of relate to with drinks. This is a good picture with the fries, though, too. And I like that picture. Actually, I like all the pictures. I would want a picture of drinks by the drinks.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So.
Cool, thank you. Yeah, that's helpful.
I do like the consistency, though. When I go through the different screens, they all have the same font as the title on the page. I like that. And then other fonts below that. But whether it was the menu, or I noticed it on the about, I got the about. And there again, there's a spot where, we've got 3 or 4 paragraphs, and we've got a lot of white space. And I don't think I'd want a bigger font to just take up the room, because then it's like, well, why is it so big? This is a nice size font for this. It's just a lot of stuff. One picture, maybe you could have other pictures, or a picture that relates to this paragraph, or he built the truck himself. If we had a picture of him working on the truck, to go down there, or his custom creation side project, a picture that relates to that. I like pictures. So pictures on a site, especially, with food and all, I think pictures help it. So rather than having all these blank areas, if the page had more pictures on it, I think that might look nicer. But I like the font. consistent at the top, the menu at the top, the menu items down here, this part down. I like all that. It's nice and consistent.
Okay,
But
yeah, thanks. That's helpful. Could you have streamlined any tasks or eliminated them altogether?
um, well, I think one thing on this, now it does say all American fries and dashed toppings, so it kind of describes it. I think it would not be out of place on some, maybe under this picture before we get down into the. Could you just have a path that kind of sums up kind of what's in the about? Just tell me about this business. You know, so and so started up business in blah blah blah. We're just two locations each, various various dates and blah blah. Something to give me a little bit of an introduction to dashed fries. More than this, but not as detailed as what's in the about. And then I said, okay, they have two locations. So then I'm thinking, okay, I need to go to the locations and see where they're at right now. So I think that would, it doesn't really streamline it. I'm still going to the location screen, but I think that would give me extra info here that I would like. Now I did not try the order online. Okay, the order online does not function yet. Now, if it did, well, since it doesn't, I can't see what it looks like, but if it did function, if I went into order, one thing that I always like on an online ordering for food, and I've seen them different ways where they have everything listed, or when you click on one thing, it brings up a list, but something to actually combine both the order and the menu, where I can see the items I'm choosing as I'm ordering. Because if I go in and I say, okay, I like that idea, I want those sweet fries and classic fries mixed, and I want to get a topping. Oh, now what were the toppings I can choose from? I don't want to leave that screen and go back to see the toppings and then pick it and come back. I'd want that as a part of my online order, a list of the menu items. Now, I don't mind having a separate menu from that, because the menu itself could actually give me even more information than I need when I'm ordering. Maybe it would give me a description of a food. Again, these are fairly straightforward, so they don't need a lot. If the dash toppings, okay, cashew cheese, could have a sentence or two about what cashew cheese topping is. And, pico de gallo, our pico de gallo is made fresh daily, and, has this tempeh bacon. Oh, we've selected blah, blah. You could have that on the menu. Don't need that on the online order. On the online order, I just want to know the items. So that would be a way. I don't know if that's really streamlining it, because the different menu, or the 5 different screens, or the 5 different menu items plus the ordering one, they're different enough that I like them different. I wouldn't combine them to actually get rid of them. Like I said, I would just make sure that the menu items are listed on the online order, just to make it easier to order. But I wouldn't get rid of any of the screens. I like them all. Yeah.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
What did you think of the on-page instructions?
Well, again, the main instructions would be either in the online order, which isn't there, or in the locations. And I think I already said, where I think this is a little weak, they don't really tell me completely. I mean, it may be correct, but if I'm inferring that correctly, I'm thinking they're here 3 days and they're here 2 days this month based on these dates. Now, if that's not true, then obviously the instructions are definitely weak because, first of all, I'm inferring that. I'm not really 100% sure that's what I should be inferring. So I would think the instructions on this location page could be a little bit clearer, a little more descriptive. That's all.
Okay. Yeah.
And for the menu, I think it's fine. Like I said, that not really instructions, but because there's not that many items, a description, a sentence or two under each one might make it look like there's even more that they offer. Just give it more information.
Yeah, that's helpful. And anything that anything that you liked or didn't like about the site? Anything else you want to add? Yeah.
I don't think anything beyond what I already have said. No.
Okay. Yeah.
Like I said, I like it. I like the pictures. I like the pictures a lot. Good color, and they, I think they show the food real good, and I think that's important with food. Sometimes you see food, pictures on a menu, and it's like, okay, whoop-de-doo. But here, these I think look very appetizing, and I think they're very clean. So I like the pictures. Like I said, I would like even more pictures. I like pictures. So.
Okay, great. That's helpful. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, and if there's nothing else you want to add, that's all the questions I have.
Okay. No, I don't think I have anything else to add.
Okay, well, thank you so much for your time. And I'll just stop the recording now. Thanks. Yeah.
You're welcome.